Alright, everyone, we are back with the next episode of the Raiders Rambles. I am Jolt, chief host of the show, and joining me is none other than my co host, Avira.
Ow! Hey, what's up, guys? I hope you're having a fantabulous day, wherever you might be in the world right now. Right on.
You know what I'm missing right now? A shirt that says Z on it. That's it. Next on the show, we have Noble.
I think I got that out of me now.
I think you coughed up a hairball.
Either
Oh,
that or
great
he's
intro.
experimenting on, giving life to zombies. Who knows?
You may never know the truth, but it will come out one day. Alright, next on the show, we have Jay Silverwolf.
Hello, everybody who is watching us live, and also hello to the ones who are watching the pre-recorded of today's show. It's been a while. Good to be back. Thank you to the Raiders team for having me be here, and I'm looking forward to this wonderful show. Yeah.
Hey, right on, buddy.
Which is all mine.
Great to have you back.
Yeah. And joining us
DJ,
for
guys.
the first time ever, we have Shark.
Hey Fuzzbutts, it's Shark here. Really looking forward to this episode. Looking forward to chatting with you guys. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Oh, heck yeah. Now, for you guys who don't know, Shark is a podcaster herself. She has an incredible story, that whole furry journey and everything. So I kind of just want to jump right into it. Shark, what got you into being a furry to begin with?
What got me into being furry?
Yeah.
I'm an artist.
Okay.
Yeah, it was an art thing for me. I don't know. I mean, I like to draw. I like doing illustrations. I saw the costumes. I thought those were really cool. Started looking into how much they were and kind of went, oh God, I don't know about that. And so I started making them, and it took me like 7-8 years to kind of develop a style. And because I was in college, so it was like a part-time thing. It was just kind of something I did on the side between college and then full-time job. But eventually I got to the point to where now I'm a fursuit maker in the fandom full-time. So,
Oh, wow. Full time. So
Mhm.
you do like commissions and stuff.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
after everything on Twitter went down, now I kind of do like fursuits and illustrations.
That's awesome, Shark.
Thank you. So the fandom's been pretty good. It's been pretty. I love the fandom because of that. You know, it gives artists a chance to kind of do their own thing.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
you have the outlets for creativity and and self-expression.
Yeah, it's nice because exactly. Like you can do your own thing. You can be your own boss. You don't have to get into advertisements. Like I was gonna get into advertisements. I did not like that at all. So it's an awesome outlet. So yeah.
Oh, wow. So did you take like classes about like marketing or stuff like that?
Yeah, I was starting to. Funny enough,
Okay.
what got me out of it was they started teaching us how to manipulate people based on like emotions, like how to sell a product through manipulating emotions. So at that point, I'm like, this is not the route for me. I don't feel comfortable manipulating people into buying items, essentially. So,
That's pretty spooky, right? I feel like art should speak for itself.
Right.
Instead of using shady tactics.
Yeah.
The downside
I
is
know
marketing.
you've actually. I'm sorry. What?
The downside is marketing sort of pushed up to the point where it's sold as a way to make money and not to harass and annoy people. Which I get a lot of marketing material myself, and it's like, oh, that's the kind of game you want to play. Well, then I won't buy from you ever again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true. So, have you ever had any like backlash from the community because of like your own personal beliefs or whatnot?
A little bit, yeah.
I would imagine so. You know, like again, like for those of you listeners who don't know who this person is, Shark has had a whole bunch of drama going on. I don't really want to get into that, but I do want your perspective on how you deal with people that kind of criticize you simply for your own beliefs.
How I criticize. Okay,
How
so
you deal with it. No.
Yeah, how
I
you
deal
deal with it?
the
Like,
criticism.
yeah, what do you say to these people?
So basically, I think like the best way to go about this I've learned is there's a couple of things. One is to just ignore them. There are some people that they just like comment on everything, like everything that I post. They're going through like all of my history and they're commenting all of this pretty much like these rumors that they've heard about me, and they're like, "Oh, aren't you this person that did this?" And and showing like pictures of me with people, and so it's like when people are just like like when one person is consistently attacking me, I find that the best thing to do is just ignore them. That seems to piss them off. I trolled people for a while. That got a little old. There's one person who like she consistently attacks me, so it's funny because I ended up shutting her up by telling her, hey, it amuses me that I pretty much live rent free in your head, and that shut her up.
Oh, right on. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess like the best way
Oh man.
to just take the heat from the fandom is just to kind of laugh at them. Something else that I'm kind of trying that's new is to just say no. Like, no. Oh, you're a racist. No, no, I'm not. Oh, you're not. Nope, nope, I'm not that either. Like, I'm not. Nope, nope. So just to ignore them and then just to kind of slap them down. Like, no, bad, no.
Hey, that's great. All
Yeah,
right.
I mean, I like take like a comical approach to it. You know what I mean? Like, I'll tell Wolfie, my partner, it's like, man, they have no idea who I am. Like, I'm just this big boogeyman that they've created, and it's kind of comical at this point. So that's what I do is I just kind of laugh at it.
I mean, honestly, though, like speaking of comedy, the left can't meme, so like it's super easy to just like laugh at their bullshit.
Yeah, and it either like really
Right.
offends them that you're laughing, or it just leaves them super confused and they don't really know how to take it, so they stop
Yeah,
being mean to you. I guess it's kind of weird.
nice. All right.
Yeah, there's another thing I'd like to ask, like in terms of that, just to kind of stay on this for a bit before moving on. What do you like in terms of dealing with things? Like, there's an element of there's something you have to say to yourself when you're in this crisis. Like, what would you say to yourself when you're faced with like everything is basically jammed down your throat, your throat, and everyone's coming up against you. Like you're basically you're basically in this little in this thing, and it feels like everything is just knocking on your doorstep, and yeah. Like
So like something that I told myself, like when I really first started getting a lot of heat, I guess like the biggest thing that helped me was people were coming to me privately and they were thanking me. Like, we need somebody to speak up against the fandom. Like, we need somebody to like give a different perspective. And so when people started telling me that, then the conclusion that I kind of came to was I was essentially sacrificing my position in the fandom to show, I guess, like sane individuals in the fandom that these crazies are here. They're trying to take over the fandom in certain aspects, and there are still normal people in the fandom. Normal is a loose term, but it's like there are still people in the fandom that just want to be in the fandom because we're furries. We don't want it to be political and crazy.
That's right.
So, and that's what really, really helped me was it's just like, hey, like, yeah, you're getting slandered right now, but look at the bigger picture of it. You're exposing a lot of negativity in the fandom, and people they're thankful for it. Like, they're very grateful that that's happening. Unfortunately, it had to happen, but it helped other people, and I guess that's what.
Well, I gotta say, I'm very thankful that you are able to speak your mind and your opinion, especially when it comes to trans issues, because that's definitely a very hot button thing going on.
Yeah.
But I think you're probably one of the only people I've ever heard talk about being a detransitioner and like what that's like
yeah,
to an individual, That's a
Mhm.
very powerful message. I think a lot of people need to hear about that. You
They
did a
do,
great job with that.
especially. Well, thank you.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sorry that you had to go through that. I could only imagine just how traumatic that might have been, just going through that whole process and everything. But the fact
It's
that you're
fun.
able to talk about it in a realistic manner is very respectable.
I appreciate that. No, I'll be honest. I wasn't traumatized by the experience at all. I'm glad I lived as a man for 10 years because it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot
Mhm.
about how society works. And what gets me is, all these women, they start saying that, oh, men are misogynists and it's easier to be a man in this world. It's like, no, it's not actually. It's a lot easier to be a woman than it is to be a man. Like, I'm sorry. um, I don't know. So
You're not
I don't
wrong.
know. What's up?
I said you're not wrong. Like nowadays, yeah, you got to be really careful about
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah. No, I'm glad it happened, to be honest. And like detransitioning, that was a trip. It's like, wow, it took me about 2 or 3 years to detransition, really, like mentally and stuff. Like,
Right.
because I'd never really lived as a girl, like I lived as a little boy, and then I grew up and went through puberty, and it's like, oh shoot, I'm supposed to be a guy. So then I went straight into being a guy and living life as a male, and yeah, so it's been interesting. It's been a good life journey.
Right on.
I'm very passionate about trans stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I know.
All right, live comment here, just for you, Shark. Ali says, Shark, you are so talented and inspirational. I'm glad you're in the Furry Raiders family with us.
Aw, thank you, Allie. You're so sweet.
Oh, Allie, she's awesome. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Girl, I'll
I
talk
mean,
to you later.
yeah, Shark.
I totally agree, Shark. Like, a really incredible story. Like, just the whole journey. For you guys who are curious, you can check out Shark's podcast. She and Kona do this. What is it? Every week, I think.
Yeah, every week. Our schedule's kind of
Yep.
weird because we're living in a new area right now. But yeah, we
All
try
right.
to do it at least once a week.
Well, hey, it's definitely worth looking into. They have some really interesting perspectives that I think you guys might be interested in. Hell yeah.
What's let's start with the foundations. Like, what's your podcast called?
Okay, so this is funny. You guys are called the Furry Rambles. Shark Rambles. Which was I like so
I should
named
sue
the
you for knocking off the name.
Yeah, well, we're the Raiders Rambles, all right? Don't be copyright striking us.
Oh, come on, right? Like I know I named it Shark Rambles, and then I started looking at this podcast, and I'm like, crap. Well, what do I do? I'm
Oh,
like,
fuck.
I can't rename it.
Hey, you're good. It's all good.
Like we all just ramble. It's all good. Yeah.
All right, cool. So, Shark Rambles?
What kind of got you into the podcasting bug?
What was that? What got me into it?
Yeah, what kind of?
Well, really, I'm just tired of. If you couldn't tell by my Twitter, I'm tired of a certain narrative being pushed, and we're not allowed to speak. Especially like it's America, land of the free, and I feel very strongly about that. And so when people tell me that I'm not allowed to speak my mind, I'm going to speak it louder. And so when the left tried to cancel me, it just angered me to the point where it's like, hey, you know what? I'm going to come at you. You canceled the wrong furry. I'm going to keep posting on Twitter. I'm going to make more comics. And hell, I'm going to do a podcast.
Hell yeah.
So thank you to the left mob that tried to cancel me. It's your fault.
And now you're digging
Yeah,
the
sure.
trenches with us.
Yep.
All right. Anything else you guys would like to ask? I guess another thing is though.
I would just like to say,
okay, go on, Jake.
again, Shark. Thank you so much for what you do, and again, very inspirational and awesome of you for what you do. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Jay.
Yeah, she's great.
One last thing. Fursuits.
Fursuits.
Are you in the still in the business of making fursuits by any chance, or?
I am. Right now, I'm kind of taking a little break because my partner has characters that he wants to be made. So I'm just like, all right, just make all of his stuff. But yeah, no, I still make fursuits. You can find me on Twitter. It's Kaiju Costumes. I've been Kaiju Costumes for a while, but yeah,
Oh,
that's
that's you?
yeah.
Whoa, I've heard about that. Damn. That's
Oh
awesome.
yeah, you're I seen a video with you and my hyena,
Oh, yeah, you did.
Calyx. Yeah,
yeah, Calyx. Oh, she's cool.
yeah, she's a sweetheart.
She like lives 20 minutes away from me.
Oh, nice. So yeah, okay.
Yeah,
That's
well,
cool.
Long Island furs, you know. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh gosh, she just wore that suit like crazy. Like
Yeah, she totally did though, right? Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Yo, I actually was on a connecting flight with Calyx when I was going to Denver back in the summer.
Nice.
Yeah, we were on the same plane. It was pretty wild.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. She's cool.
Oh, yeah, she's cool.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. So, shall we get? Thanks for being on, Shark. It was, thanks for taking
Thank
me
you
in.
for having me.
Thanks for having our questions, and it's just overall like we sit here and we just dive in, just ramble on random topics, and hopefully, I'd love to hear more about your show. Where can we find it?
So it's Shark Rambles on Twitter. Right now I'm on Anchor and Spotify, Pocket Casts. I'm trying to. I need to get like onto YouTube and things too. So right now we're on
Yeah.
Spotify and Anchor.
Yeah, and
but yeah.
I mean, as for me, I mean, we publish to YouTube, we publish to Twitch. We're also looking for publishing at more platforms, but we're on, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, BitChute, and Stitcher. And so, like it always helps to have a hub for for the audio only and video as
Yeah.
well. So as to be able to spread your message as well. So definitely, yeah. I mean, I did
Cool.
come into this with gusto, with no, just like a fish out of water, basically. So take it from me.
Hell yeah.
All right, cool stuff.
All right, so shall we get into the meat and bones of all?
Oh boy,
all
there's
this
a lot
good
of stuff going on right now. Yeah, let's get right on into it.
Let's start falling and screaming into this day.
Oh boy.
You know what? You want your hairball back, Noble? You know what? Doesn't matter. I'm giving it back to you.
I have Magic 8 Ball in my hand.
All right, let's start with this first item. International Cat Federation bans Russian cats from all competitions.
So this is
Okay.
blatant speciesism right here. They're literally banning any cats that have a nationality from Russia
Yeah, this is
in
pretty
this
special.
competition.
This makes me
Excuse
want to
me?
change my fursona to a Russian blue.
but think about this though. Who exactly does this hurt? Like, what was the thinking behind making this?
Right.
Oh, we're gonna stick it to Russia because your pets can compete in a competition or whatever. Like what? Huh?
It comes across as very petty. Very petty.
Yeah, or pandering, right? Yeah, petty and
Yes.
pandering, definitely.
Exactly.
Like, what
this
the
is
fuck?
Like sheep. I'm sorry. This is like sheep-minded right here. Like this is the horde. I mean, it's so sad. This is like hive mind at peak.
I feel
Sure.
bad for these cats too. Like, what if this was their dream to win a gold medal, and now all of a sudden they can't do that? Like, oh, these poor kitties.
Right. They've been bred
Kind
for
of
years.
behavior. This kind of behavior should also be expected since it happened during the 1940s with German Shepherds. I think you had
Oh
people
God, did it?
putting them down. So
The
just be glad
Nazi
people
shepherds?
actually
Is that what they
cats.
called them?
Yeah.
Jeez.
No kind Nazi shepherds.
Did we not
Boo,
learn
boo,
anything?
boo.
What?
Live comments. Dingo says, "I didn't know cats were participating in wars."
Yo, oh, actually, they are though. Actually, Dingo, they legit are. Have you seen the articles about
that's
like
right.
the Ukrainian soldiers that have like cats on their shoulders?
Yeah.
Like the cats are going to war. That shit was spreading around for a while, like
Yeah,
last week.
I remember
Yeah, you saw
reading
that,
they
right?
they were being trained with how would you say? You know how cats love lasers? They were saying
Yeah,
that
yeah. They were
it
like
was like
trained
a
to
way
like
to
attack that shit.
yeah, so that they couldn't get sniped. It's like the cat, oh, there's a laser, and then the people know, okay, there's a sniper
Yeah.
up there.
The amount of people taking the piss at the moment with the news is just fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And I think, and from this, like, let's have a look at the ratification for this. It says the Federation International Feline issued a statement saying it cannot just witness these atrocities and do nothing.
So what are they talking about? Do they think they're doing something by not letting
Not
cats
letting,
compete?
saying no cat
Like,
bred in Russia may be
what?
imported and registered in any 5 pedigree book outside of Russia. No cat belonging to exhibitors living in Russia may be entered at any 5 show outside of
Oh
Russia.
my goodness! What the bonkers, man? Seriously?
Sticking it to those
That's
cat
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you show those cats who's allowed to win medals. Yeah, you.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Like, imagine you booked a flight like a month in advance, going to this international competition with you and your cat, and it's like, nope, sorry, Russia did a thing, so your Russian cat is like illegal.
Yeah.
Like, the fuck? Huh? Oh, what? Why? What happened?
Mira, it's called people.
Ugh, it's crazy.
No, it's not.
Leave the cats alone.
Yeah, you forget this is all fair game.
I suppose so. Well, obviously, it's being done as a symbolic gesture, towards Russia. It's not the cat's fault. It's not the owner's fault or whatever. This is
Well,
just
we
a
could start
signifier.
We could start devolving to talking about meta, but let's leave that for later in the show. We're going to host it.
Well, the next thing here's an interesting little point as well that you found. The story attracted condemnation from Chinese users of Weibo with one setting: animals should not have nationalities.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Interesting. Okay. I could see that.
What I find
Right.
interesting about all this Russian stuff is how the Chinese government. It's just interesting to see what's coming out of China right now.
It is, yeah. It's a little
Yeah,
scary, but yeah.
They know what's happening, what's up. They know what's happening behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And sometimes, part of me basically says, is torn. That says there are moments I just say, WTF, I love China now, and fuck China, and I'm like, I'm so damn torn.
Damn. Well,
You know?
you guys know there's a lot of fursuit creators and artists who live in Russia. They do incredible work, and they've been a
That's
really
right.
big contributor to the furry community. But now, with all these sanctions and crap, now we're kind of seeing, unfortunately, some of these really talented artists don't have a venue anymore to go through.
Or
Mm-hmm.
to make a livelihood. I
Yeah,
was just able to make, to purchase that from a Russian artist not too long ago, and then
Yeah.
now that these have clamped harder, it's just, now we have to go through some, hoopla just to be able to buy art from a Russian or to give them their livelihoods.
yeah. PayPal doesn't work. There's a lot of
alternatives too, and now they're starting to clamp down. It's
Yep.
Yeah, some really crazy shit. Like at the moment,
Totally.
the only other option I guess this world is going to turn to is build your own bank and build your own payment processor, pay in cryptocurrency.
Yeah. Well, now our government is trying to get into cryptocurrency.
That's probably a good option, considering the fact that inflation in US dollars is going way the crap up. It's like $5 a gallon for gas. Like, what the crap?
Dude,
So, yeah, it's crazy.
I just paid for petrol yesterday, and I snorted money out of my nose to pay for it.
Oh my good
And down
golly
here in
goodness.
Australia, yes, it's I just checked the petrol stations earlier today. It was $2.10 for a liter of petrol. And I guess,
Bro.
like, in freedom bucks, you're right. It's pretty consistent with it being $5 a gallon.
Yeah, right? That's crazy. Bro, I spent $35 just the other day, and it only filled me up like halfway. So that means $70 to fill my tank up. Like, it used to be 40.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's
What
doubled.
the heck?
Yeah.
It used to be $40, maybe 38.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's double the price.
Yeah, definitely. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I'm not just the only one. You know, I use my car to go to work and everything, and
Oh yeah, totally.
Just remember that this is all getting started. Well, it's really starting to ramp up at the moment, so it's going to keep like this for a while.
Yeah.
Don't expect it to
I think you're
stay
right
around.
about that. It's probably going to be around $10 a gallon, maybe more, maybe like
That's
12.
what they're estimating.
Eventually,
Yeah. That's what they're
eventually, yeah,
estimating.
that's probably what it's going to be.
Yeah. Honestly, that's what they want. I
Dang.
mean, they're trying to push us into an electric system, and our government, the Biden regime, has actually discussed that. They were talking about that last year, how they were going to force the oil industries out. They were going to force Americans into an electronic system, and that's what they're doing. And they don't care. And you see the elites talking about that.
Okay,
it's
but
like-
like, where does that electricity come from? It comes from burning
Exactly.
fossil fuels at the power plants. Like,
Yeah.
Weren't we
bro,
talking about cats before?
yeah, we were. Like, that's common sense. Like, come on.
Yeah, people, and these are things people don't think about, and then they don't care about the planet. I'm going to say that right now because they're trying to push this green movement. If they actually cared about us being more green and more planet friendly, they would be pushing. I've talked with other people about this. It's like they'd be pushing for us to use old vehicles. They would be pushing for personal responsibility. Like, hey, you person, like take the personal responsibility to do X, Y, and Z to make your life healthier and green. You know, just oh, I love our government.
All right, but okay. So, how do you think this affects like Russian furry artists? Because there's a lot of fursuit makers and just badge artists, or whatever. Like, they can't even be paid anymore. Like in most circumstances, that's really
Yeah,
gonna
it's
hurt a
pretty
lot of
rough.
people.
Yeah. Well, and you know what's so frustrating too is the argument is, well, the Ukrainians don't even have means to because they're getting bombed and all this. It's like, okay, I understand that they're fleeing their homes, but the people in Russia shouldn't be punished for what's happening.
No, they shouldn't, and we're being punished too.
Yeah.
Like, why in the hell is gas $6 a gallon? Like, what the crap is that going on? No, not cool.
Right. And I just seen an article today talking about how people in Texas, they're actually crossing the border down into Mexico and they're filling their tanks at about $2 a gallon.
Wow, wow,
Uh-huh.
that's bonkers.
Yeah. So this is all government. This is all sanctioned. But it's ridiculous that they are virtue signaling so strongly that they're hurting. They don't care about the Russian citizens, which and what gets me is that the people like in Western countries, they're like, oh, this is awesome. Like the Russians need to pay. It's like, okay, well, let's think about this in another way. Like you guys are all anti-Trump, the ones that, it's like, so let's say like you're anti-Trump. Well, what if Trump had put us into war and the rest of the world had decided to sanction us and they had decided to cut us off from, you know what I mean? Like people need to think about these things.
And then like gas prices doubled in 24 hours. Yeah, what the fuck is that about?
And you've been cut off from PayPal and you can't use your Spotify anymore. Like people need to think about that before they just go out and start screaming that the Russian people need to suffer too. I mean, it's messed up.
He was bragging about how he hurt the Russian ruble. It was like, it went down like 50% or something crazy like that, like overnight. He's like, oh wait, this is a victory for us, America. But like,
yeah, meanwhile,
who's it really helping?
Inflated and
who? Like,
right.
Is that helping me? No, it's not. Like, what the crap?
And on another side note, like when I was able to, do some hoopla and buy art from Russian artists, I was just the fees were just over the top. It was ridiculous.
Really? So they're
for shipping?
I don't know. Like, I don't know what it was. I didn't pay for shipping, although I technically may have. But I mean, I'm getting this art piece mailed to me, but that remains to be seen whether I can get it mailed to me.
Yeah. Right. Well,
So-
are we even taking mail from Russia?
That's a good question,
yeah.
man. I don't even know anymore.
Fuck, I want like some Russian vodka mailed to me because my local liquor store pulled them from the shelves.
Yo,
Right,
same. Here in America, 10 states got rid of Russian imported vodka. I think Ohio, Oklahoma, like a bunch of Washington, they all did that shit. Yeah, 10 states in America got rid of imported Russian vodka to like
That's ridiculous.
I don't know,
Just stick it to
support
the
the
man,
sanctions or some
man.
bullshit. Like, yeah. Like, what are you doing? You're just gonna lose money.
Look how hard I can virtue signal.
It's so stupid. Like, what are you doing? I don't want Smirnoff in my store. I'm gonna, yeah, hooray for Ukraine or some bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, man.
Wow.
Really? You're a liquor store, bro. Like, just sell us the vodka. I don't
Vera,
care about
have
the
you
war.
completely forgotten the last couple of years with the whole virtue signaling thing?
No, unfortunately, I tried to ignore it, but yeah, you're right. It's
With the way you were
crazy.
talking, it sounds like you completely had.
No, I just thought it got so bonkers that like companies would actually go that far and do shit like that. I never thought that would actually be a thing, but apparently it is.
really?
Come on. Look
Like
at
the
what
Taking
Pokemon company.
10 states taking a product off the shelves because of a foreign war. I've never seen that happen before. Have you? That's
Right.
crazy.
Meanwhile, companies like Coca-Cola are trying to stop Western countries from, what would you say, making it better for Uyghurs, making it better for essentially,
Yeah.
for the concentration camps over in China. We're trying to make changes there, and you've got companies like Nike and Coca-Cola saying, no, we
No,
need
you can't sell this stuff to Russia. And on that same note, they can't offer the same services to Russia too. And it's not just Coca-Cola and that. Like the game companies have also been suspending sales to Russians.
Yes, this is a very big story. This actually just dropped a couple of days ago. Sony has decided to stop doing business with the entire nation of Russia.
Yeah.
Sony,
wow.
by the way. Yeah, this is big news, guys. Pretty
Sony,
crazy.
PlayStation, and Nintendo.
And you
Nintendo,
know
yeah.
what?
Yep.
You know what? I don't know if you guys heard, but I came across an article where it said something about McDonald's in Russia too. Like they're trying
Yeah.
to say that McDonald's meats are like part of the black market now. Like really?
Whoa.
Yeah, I just heard about
Okay.
that too, that McDonald's stopped serving.
For years now, Americans have been, black marketing cheese into Canada.
Oh. Okay,
No,
that
it's-
I didn't know.
I know during the fall of the Soviet Union, it was McDonald's and Blue Jeans were like the two top products like from the capitalists that they really like the people wanted to get. It's very
Interesting.
ironic now that like McDonald's is saying, nope, we're not going to do that.
And I
It's-
think
it's so
Josh,
frustrating.
Whoa.
But you know what though? But Russia has got another avenue out of that though. But before I do get into that avenue, there is a silver lining to the banning of McDonald's and stuff like that though. Russians may actually become the most healthiest,
Yeah.
most well-adjusted
Yeah,
people.
Right.
I was going to say like
Video games
less
and fast food.
diabetes and obesity.
You gotta look at the silver lining to all of this.
This is true. It is very true.
Yeah, totally right.
And you may be able to confiscate your Netflix,
I
your
mean, yeah,
TikTok,
yeah.
your Twitter, and your Pornhub from Russia, but look at the potential benefits.
But you're not going to get your arteries clogged if there's no McDonald's. Thank goodness.
Yes,
I
you're
guess
not gonna
everyone-
become a friggin', porn addict that way
Jesus.
if you have access to that.
Everyone's forgetting that these stores that are still have a physical location or stocks kept within Russian borders, all that shit could just be seized.
Yeah,
And
the
then-
Russian government making a
and
plan
then
to
sold.
seize all of those stuff. Yeah.
I mean,
And
one of
they
the bigger
kinda-
companies
yeah.
to take action was TSMC. Please tell me people have been keeping track of that company.
No.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
The one company that produces the best chips in the world, and you can't be bothered keeping track of it.
No.
Is that the one that's based out of Taiwan?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big problem.
Is that also the one that provides all the microchips to, cars and stuff?
Yeah,
About
they're the ones that
80%.
build
Yeah.
like
Okay.
the CPUs and everything. Basically, it's like the Ferrari of the car industry, if that's the top vehicle you can think of.
Yeah, and if China
Okay.
steps in and
Makes
takes
sense.
over Taiwan, that company is going to be monopolized.
Mm-hmm.
Bad news.
Fair enough.
Gotta love it.
And on another same notes, though, Russians are still trying to get their McDonald's, as though they're trying to reopen McDonald's by scrapping the trademarks and sell an sell an off-branded Big Mac.
Yeah, I just wonder though, like, of all the fursuit makers who do live in Russia, how are they going to help their customers? Because this whole crazy ban just happened like the other day. So
Yeah.
what? Like, let's say if someone spent $2,000 to buy a fursuit from a Russian fursuit maker, where does that money go, and how do they get what they paid for? Like,
Right.
what about
Like,
that?
well, we don't know about cargo shipping and all that just yet. Like,
Or even sanctions, though. I mean, like, is it okay if that person gave him that money? And like,
Yeah,
it's a tough
Vera,
question.
the thing that really should be pointed out is that if you're caught actually sending money into Russia, even if it's just for private sale or something,
Mhm.
it could get the eyes of the governments, like
Mhm.
your local government, your local authorities. You may start getting harassed by the police.
Yeah.
Right, and that hurts everybody. Just regular people that like a particular artist that want to get a fursuit or a commission or something. Like, that shouldn't be their fault because of politics or governments attacking each other or whatever. Like, that's not cool.
Well, and so I don't think people realize this too, because I didn't know this unless I had, I'm a fursuit maker, so this is why I know this. But a lot of
Hmm?
the fur that I get, it comes out of Russia. A lot
Yeah,
of my
okay.
fur comes from California and it comes from Russia. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know if California makes it, but yeah, like a lot of my high quality fur that I get, it comes from Russia. So that's been making me kind of curious. Okay, well, what's going to happen with the fursuit industry? Because
Yeah,
a lot
definitely.
come from Russia.
Like,
Right.
are you in contact with any of the distributors from Russia at all, or is it like a third party type of thing?
No, it's more of a third party. Like,
Okay.
it's like if you lived in Russia, you would go to the business and you would buy a bolt of it and then sell me however many yards I need.
Right. Okay.
Weird question. Doesn't everything I now wish that there was a Russian furry oligarch?
Yeah.
Who can vertically control
Yeah.
all this, the market for fursuits instead?
Oh, yeah, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Zabivaka.
And speaking of Zavivaka, oh, Foxler says hi. Hi. No more fursuits. OMG, what will the fandom do?
Right? Well, that would be craziness. No, we don't have to be in like pup suits or something.
Oh shit!
Oh God, no, no.
We have to resort to that. That's what's gonna happen if we can't get our fur from Russia anymore. We're all gonna
Well,
be
look at it.
pups.
So
No,
it's still
thanks.
being
Nope.
it's still manufactured in California, yes or no? There's still fur being made there, yes or no?
Oh, I'm sure that
Probably.
yeah.
Probably.
Like I
in
said,
Yeah,
Russia-
I think
the
so.
two sources is California and Russia. That's where I get my fur.
Yeah.
Now with Hal Fabrics, I don't know where they get their stuff manufactured, but
I think the fur that I can buy locally is made in China, but I can't confirm that.
makes sense too.
Unfortunately, Spotlight's a bit of a pain in the ass, so. Oh, and heads up, I am sort of keeping an eye on China to see if things go south with that country as well, because, yeah, fuck.
Oh yeah. Well, the whole world's going crazy, man.
Yeah, Russia's a big diversion for a lot of things happening right now.
I believe so. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Crazy
And
times we're
speaking of
living
there,
in for
like
sure.
the last thing I want to do, like while we're still here, here's the last thing I want to cover. The letter Z.
No, for crying out loud.
Yeah, right. Like, what?
The-
What do you normally
Well-
see? Like, what do you normally associate the letter Z with?
Well, we know what we associate the Greek version of the letter Z with. I think it's very interesting that the Russian military is using that letter when they're going into Ukraine. I mean, like, why Z? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's like more identifiable or something. No, who knows?
Yeah, Diego came up with the same sort of idea I had. There's a movie called, was it World War Z?
Yeah, World War Z. Right on.
Someone someone did put in the comments zombie. Yep, there it is.
Nice.
And there's a lot of things too that you know, if you scream out for anything that has anything associated with the letter Z. Oh, good God! You know what? I'm actually worried because you know, if somebody spells out of stuff, like my boss's son has a car that has the letter Z on it.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Not,
Is
Don't
it like
forget
a white
but-
spray painted Z on the side of a
No,
tank?
it's not a paint job. It's not a paint job. No, nothing. It's this. It's because it got a Z on the name. And it has the Z
Oh, that's
badge
sweet.
at the back on it too. Yes.
Damn, that's pretty
Hmm.
fly.
Don't
All right.
forget that what happened in Canada and the honk honk fiasco.
Trudeau.
And not to mention,
I
you know,
don't think it was Trudeau. I think it was like some sub person in the.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter anyway. But the fact that
But-
someone decided to put honk honk means Hail Hitler is just fucking ridiculous.
Oh my goodness.
wow.
Oh no. What the crap?
Wow.
Come on. Come on.
only a leaf can come up. With
Nah,
that.
man. Like there's a way to troll properly, and then there's like being a dick about it, and that's being a dick about it.
Avira, you're forgetting about the third thing. Then there's trolling as a politician.
Oh yes,
Good
yes.
luck with
There is
that
that as
shit.
well. You're correct. Oh my goodness. Yeah,
Oh.
totally.
Speaking of
Holy
Z,
bonkers.
do you know which one famous character in literature always has this trademark Z? Zorro.
Oh,
yeah,
Zorro. Zorro. Yes, of course.
Didn't we talk about that show recently about how they're going to have like a female version?
Yeah, they're gonna
of
remake it
Zorro?
with a female.
Yeah.
Latin X.
Yeah, they're
Zorro.
gonna call her Zora.
And,
That's the last thing I.
and I don't know what we got. And I don't even know if that's new Zorro.
Mi nombre es Zora.
Is gonna do the trademark Z.
Stop remaking films with women. I just want an original film with a strong female lead. I'm tired of these remakes.
Yeah, right, dude. Oh my goodness. Have you
Well-
seen what they've been doing to Lord of the Rings lately?
Oh,
There's
God.
not enough female representation. Fuck you. Like, really? Bro,
This is why I love Studio Ghibli so much, is because in all of
Eowyn
these
killed the
movies-
Witch King. I'm just saying.
Ugh. But
Sorry,
in
go
Studio
on.
Ghibli
Right, yeah,
films,
exactly.
they're all strong female leads. They're
Mm-hmm.
they're not pandering. It doesn't. It's just it's a strong female lead. That's all I want. I don't want.
Yeah, that's all well and good. Yo, Galadriel is fucking badass. She
Mm.
destroyed the entire fortress of Dol Guldur in Mirkwood, by the way, with her fucking magic. Just her alone. That's cool shit.
That's what I'm talking
But-
about.
But no one talks about that. They're like, oh well, it's all sexist or whatever. Fuck you. No, it's not.
Well, what I
Like,
would
get
really
real.
like to see is a female Frodo.
No, you don't want to see that. No, you don't. No, you do not. Stop
No.
it. Stop it now. No, you don't.
I want to.
That's not okay.
Oh, well, they did a female
Come
song
on.
in Shrek, right?
Come on, man.
Luckily, there are still some TV shows that are at least trying to do shit right. Has anyone seen the TV show called Resident Alien? It's based on a comic series by the same name.
I haven't heard of it. Well, I haven't seen the show, but I have heard of what it is about.
Yeah, it's got that awkward sort of humor,
Okay.
which is I find it rather funny.
Ooh, like
Also, the show tends to be more refreshing since you have an obese well, sheriff who's a woman, not a deputy. Sorry, she tends to be smarter than the actual sheriff. It's this scrawny little black guy. It's fucking hilarious sometimes the shit they get up to. So he walked into the office of the episode I recently watched, and he had a dead arm because the doctor gave him an injection that sort of put his whole arm to sleep, and he just walks in and goes, "Hey, guess what I can do? Slap!" and knocks everything off the table. About the fact
Wow.
that he had a dead arm, he couldn't feel a damn thing with it. So yeah.
Fun.
That's pretty bonkers.
Live comments. Foxler says, no, shark in a movie. Tank girl.
Shark in a
Are you referring to like Sharknado 4?
Oh, not those bloody movies. I mean,
I don't know. Like, what are you talking about? I mean, that's based on a true story. You know, there was definitely a water tornado that totally sent sharks into the town and started killing people all over the damn place.
I thought it came from the story where you had like a tornado or something that picked up like fish and shit and just dumped it on town somewhere.
Yeah, I've
And
heard about
thought it was
fish and stuff.
witches.
Have you ever heard-
I don't know, man. It's some goofy ass movie, but it's fucking funny.
Christopher
No.
Lloyd, one of the actors who's been in a shit ton of movies. One of these ridiculous movies he was in was like these weird eel things that would come up through the toilet. So guess what happened to him in the start of the movie?
He got eaten by an eel thing.
Oh goodness, did he?
Pulled up his ass.
Oh,
Oh, I
dude
didn't want to
pulled
hear
off the
that.
expression.
I
I swear,
definitely
the
did not want to hear that.
expression- Some B-rate movies are just fucking weird sometimes.
But Christopher Lloyd, though, like he's a top paid actor. Like, what did he only have like 30 seconds in that movie? Or, like, what the hell happened?
There was a couple of minutes, but basically he was the first person to get offed in it, I think.
Oh my goodness!
Don't ask me what the movie
Crazy.
was called, but
Poor little
I mean,
bug.
a decent B-rate one I've seen was like this monster that basically existed in sand. So if you touched the sand while this thing was around, you basically dissolved.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, remember there was like that fat black dude who was like in like the 10-gallon tub or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like they like the sand monster cut him in half. It was basically like a giant jellyfish. It was like just killing people. Like they were trying to throw hot dogs onto the sand, like see how big it was, and some crazy shit like that.
That movie was done. It's not like the best movie, but it's a good movie. If you
No,
want to
dude,
watch
I like that movie. I really do. I've watched it at least like 3 or 4 times. It's pretty damn funny. And I'm just like, oh no, you're throwing the hot dog. Now you know where it is. But okay. I don't know. It was a good movie, bro. It was.
I'm going to answer
Yeah.
this question and say
Yeah.
Tremors pissed me off with the last movie.
I do not know.
Tremors. Was that the one with the vampire bats?
No, that's the one with the graboids, the giant snake worm things that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
And then
old
like, the military came in, and then they tried to like bomb it using like okay.
Mm.
No, the ones that pull up the tentacles out from the ground, grab a hold of people, and then rip them under.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. We got totally off topic, by the way.
Jeez.
Let's go back to one of our stories.
All right.
What
were we
So
talking
I think the whole spiel about the Russia thing is just that. Though I think the only thing we can do is just watch and see, and and race for price hikes.
Well, that's definitely going to be a big thing.
Yeah.
But I wonder if
and-
like Sony is not going to be able to sell games in Russia at all, like for the next
Well,
year.
they've only
That's gonna be
suspended
crazy.
sales. Like Microsoft, Nintendo, Sony, all the other stuff like CD Projekt and all that have just suspended sales in Russia.
Yeah, but imagine that's like 130 million people. Like
It's
how
a
do
big
you?
market.
It's enormous. Absolutely, it's huge.
And there's a lot of profit to be made.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
And
People really need to educate themselves on why Russia feels validated in going into Ukraine, and honestly, it's up to the people to stop what's happening, and I don't think it's going to happen because the media has done a very good job of propagandizing what's happening.
Right.
Yeah,
And
especially
dude,
with
I think
the-
you're totally
True.
right. Like there's no reason to start World War III. We don't not have to go in there and intervene in some internal conflict.
right.
I'm not okay with spilling American blood. I'm really not. Like that's
Vera,
not a good thing.
You lost that when America went through Afghanistan.
Yeah.
and
Well, yeah, America has done a
that
bunch
was
of bad shit, like
And then
Afghanistan, Iraq,
unfortunately,
Vietnam, like you name it.
We're
I
the
get
bad
that.
guys in a lot of different situations, and we're the bad guys here in Ukraine. We really are.
Well,
We are-
I don't think we should be
NATO,
going into some war that doesn't
No.
concern us. You know, that would be a bad thing.
But, and that's what they want, though. I mean, look at how they're pushing a certain narrative. They're manipulating search engines. They're manipulating things so that you cannot see Russia's side of the story.
hmm.
Right.
and-
Well,
Explain how this is
that's the
new.
whole government thing. But I'm more concerned about us. You know, like furries. How like there's a lot of furries in Russia who now are struggling to deal with like how are they going to make a living doing commissions anymore? Like a lot of these
Joel?
services are shut down. Like that's crazy.
So what was this thing about DuckDuckGo we were going to talk about?
That's the perfect segue you just made with search.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Just not intentionally. I was meant to get onto it, but you did.
Yeah, no, I saw it
thanks
and
for
I
throwing us
forced
the
it.
bone, Shark. Really.
I got you.
See, I know I could count on you. All right. Now, Google alternative DuckDuckGo promises crackdown on disinformation. So now, DuckDuckGo, a search engine dubbed by many as the free speech alternative to Google, has announced they will be taking steps to combat quote unquote Russian disinformation. And so, in simple terms, they have just chosen to become the next Google.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Whoa.
Seriously.
Wait, so exactly how are they going to cut back on disinformation?
They're choosing to downrank sites that are, associated with disinformation. quote
They're
unquote,
seen as
in the
pro-Russian. Yeah.
I imagine they'd be censoring articles that have anything to do with pro-Russia or anti-Ukraine, and that they would bury those search results under like 20 pages of the
Well-
pages that you're searching. Something to that effect, probably.
So get this. I don't know why this happened, but I was trying to go onto the Kremlin's website to get Putin's side of the story, because I knew through a YouTube video that he had posted his side of the story. I couldn't get it.
Yeah.
It popped up on my search engine, pretty far down, because all you're getting, like article after article, website after website, was anti-Russia. Well, finally, finally I found the Kremlin website. And I clicked on it, and it could not load. It wouldn't load on my tablet. It wouldn't load on our phones. And I tried multiple times on different days. It would not load.
My goodness, that is spooky. Like
Yeah.
that's how they're trying to do shit like
it's
that.
not. Avira,
Wow.
if you've been keeping track of the news lately, you would know that certain backbone providers are cutting off access to the
Oh, I know
internet
that for sure.
websites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Another thing that I've kind of noticed is that some people are saying that the .ru thing is off limits, and some people have reported that needing a VPN to get access to a .ru website, which is from the Russian, the Russian website.
Yeah, and yeah, we're cutting off the Russians through Facebook and all these different things, and so then Russia retaliates by saying, "Fine, we can't use your platforms, then we're going to ban them here." And then our media reports, "Oh, well, the Russian dictator Putin is making it illegal to have Facebook and Twitter." And it's like, you know what, you guys, we started that though. Our companies are the whole narrative is just really screwy,
Yeah.
and they're painting the narrative. That's what's wild about this, is they're really
And now that search engines have been in on this, the next thing we want to do is to come up with a practical solution. And instead of relying on Google and DuckDuckGo, thankfully there are some alternatives.
Bing!
And not just that.
Is Bing still unbiased?
Bing is
A little bit.
Microsoft. Do you
Okay,
think?
I'm like,
All right, so this article right here says Brave Search and Pre-Search say they don't censor search results. That's
Hmm.
good. Okay,
It's
they
also
don't do
just
that. I mean,
following,
that's what they're saying.
what
So after
DuckDuckGo just said.
DuckDuckGo announced that
Right.
it would be abandoning its year-long commitment to unbiased search results, down-ranking Russian disinformation, two alternative search engines, Brave Search and Presearch, have committed to censoring their search results.
Right. And so,
Hmm.
yes. And you know what, Noble? Yes, it was right to bring up Bing to a certain degree because Brave Search uses a bit of Bing for like a low amount of their queries. So, yes, it's Microsoft. Yes, it's, somewhat biased, but, at least Brave is provided, independently. It has an independent search index, so, they're not beholden to Google or anything.
Look, a lot of this shit really should be taken care of in the courts.
Mhm.
Luckily, we have the UN for that, if you could say that.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
our
wouldn't.
court
I
system's
wouldn't.
just totally screwy here.
I wouldn't hold my breath.
So this
in
whole
hope-
Yeah.
disinformation, look, cutting off completely long term is just going to exacerbate the problems, drag it out,
Exactly.
And
and
yeah,
It's
No.
just gonna make matters worse. You're not accomplishing anything by doing what we are doing, what our companies are doing. It's making the situation worse, and that's all it's gonna do. Is it's gonna cut a country off from the rest of the world so that we cannot communicate with each other. We cannot share our perspectives, our viewpoints on what's happening, and we can't get the full picture.
Yep,
Well,
and in the long run, that hurts everybody.
Yeah.
while we look at it this way, who's been keeping track of the sanctions and the ones that have been put in place? Because some of these companies might not actually have the option but to do this without themselves getting, well, fined or into deep trouble.
Well, I can see your point there. I think a lot of companies, though, they're pandering
yeah.
because
Now,
it's essentially gotten to the point where you're either pro Ukraine or you're a bad guy. Essentially, I mean, you even question what's happening and you get ostracized. So
Yeah,
as a
that's
company,
how the media
that's
spins it.
that's the thing. Now,
and
so
they've been. Oh, go ahead.
just that's really what it is, just with the narrative, and I'm in full agreement with you. I'll make my stance clear in a minute, but first we're gonna just wrap this segment up by looking at the other search engine that we found. Free Search is a private, decentralized, blockchain-powered search engine that it said, and it tweeted that it does not censor. And so they know that what we really need, maybe what we're really missing, is a decentralized and unbiased search engine.
Yeah, totally. I agree with
and
that.
yeah, and like that's also one of those things too. Pre-search is powered by cryptocurrencies,
Mhm.
and that's another one of
How is
those
it?
things that have been uncovered.
I have a problem with the fact they're using cryptocurrencies.
Oh,
I mean,
okay,
it's
so
the whole
is
NFT
this
thing.
new venue not? Do they have other alternative currency options?
No, it's more the NFT thing.
It's mostly like crypto stuff. Okay.
It says
The
integrated, not
crypto light,
using.
basically.
Okay.
NFTs are just, I'm not big fan of them.
Yeah, I'm not into that either.
Yeah, no, it's just a messed up thing. But yes, as we now know, maybe it is time to ditch Google and DuckDuckGo, and start moving to other search engines that have, that won't be as
Yeah.
censorious or biased.
Yahoo's all right. Bing is okay.
And,
I'll say right
there's-
now that pre-search, because you mentioned it, I'm on here kind of looking around and I'm pulling up stuff that I've never seen before on DuckDuckGo. So that's quite interesting.
I mean, like they haven't gone totally woke yet, but they did sell out, so it might take some time. But yeah, DuckDuckGo used to be like the go-to to
Yeah, it
get
used
like
to-
some on-the-ground kind of knowledge.
Yeah.
It used to be more down to earth, I guess.
Those were the good old days.
Yeah, right. Like 2014,
now-
2015, thereabouts.
Yeah.
Yeah, used to be.
Oh well.
Yahoo's all right.
All right. So I guess it comes to the end of this. That's all the time we've got for the week. And
All
wow.
right.
And like, if I wasn't dealing with my own shit of set of crazy, then we have to deal with this set of crazy. And I am gonna be flat. And I'm gonna say is that my wallet is gonna be teeming with me being flat broke from buying food and petrol and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But luckily, I have been stocking up on emergency food. So
Oh, good.
Stock up on grains and essentials, yeah.
Beans last like 25 years.
Yeah.
Go for that. Rice.
Beans, flour, rice, yeah.
Yeah. Sugar, salt, all that
Yeah.
stuff. Essentials.
right. So as we come to the end of the show, we come to our closing comments. Who would like to start? Like, what's going on this week?
Not it.
There are 3 sides to every triangle. Never forget that.
That's true. There's always something out there. That's true.
All right, Jay.
Oh man. I mean, as you can probably tell, like, I probably don't have much to say, and there's a lot I don't pay attention to, but just seeing all this, I mean, just again, wow, crazy times we're living in, and we gotta do what we can, and also look out for ourselves and all that stuff, and I was also gonna say too, and I guess it's kind of related to the whole like when it comes to like information and stuff like that. Like I feel like I am the kind of person that that says like we have the right to know what's going on, or hear the other side of the story and stuff like that. And it's like they're trying to cover things up, and they don't want us to hear, they don't want us to see certain things. And even though I mean, there are times where I still say, well, maybe it's not good to know everything, because if you think about it, like it's like you hear something that's like really top secret, and then you might go into a freak out,
Yeah.
But so there's that too. And still kind of to this day, I'm just kind of like, what do I believe, or what should I believe? I mean, I'm hearing this, I'm seeing this, and also hearing this, and also seeing this and that. I mean, it's again just wild times that we're living in right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally, man. Absolutely.
All right.
Shark?
I mean, to go off of what the other guys just said, really, like, in a time of disinformation like we are in right now, it's so critical and so important to take responsibility for yourself. Focus on your own life. I mean, really, just do whatever you can to make your life as comfortable as possible right now, but also kind of like what Noble was saying, there's 3 sides to a triangle. Before you just jump on board with a narrative, it is just absolutely critical that you learn, you go out of your way to learn. Why is the bad guy a bad guy? Why is the good guy information, man. This is a time of information, and it's super critical to not jump on board with a narrative because everybody else is doing it. I mean, you can see it in the furry fandom as far as being called this or that. People don't know who we are, and so they call us names, and that's why I was so hesitant with the Russian stuff. Like, because I've been through it. You guys have probably been through it. Like, we know firsthand. Like, people are very quick to jump on a bandwagon and just start shooting names left and right because it makes them feel better about themselves. So,
Totally.
we're in a time where it's extremely critical to to get as much information as you can and make your own decision about what's going on. So,
All right. Absolutely, my dude. Totally.
And
And what about
it's
you,
also
Vivek?
kind of it's
Go
also
on.
like don't judge by the book of its cover, you know.
exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah. What about you, Avira?
Well, I think this week has been pretty damn bonkers, I gotta say. I'm so thankful that I was able to check out Shark's podcast. She really does an incredible job. I highly recommend you guys check her out.
I appreciate
And
it.
this is pretty fun, guys. I hope you guys learned something, and I'll see you next week. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
And
yep, yep.
yeah, as for us, thanks you to all our listeners. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this as much as we did in the making of the show. And as I did say earlier before, our episodes are always available on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, BitChute, and more further down the line. This is us signing off for the week. Farewell, and until next time.
Ah!
Goodbye, everyone. Be
Poof.
blessed.